Saving money in your 20s feels impossible because payday is basically a magic trick. The money appears, you look financially stable for about 11 minutes, then you pay rent, buy groceries, order food twice because cooking suddenly feels like a human rights violation, and somehow you're back to staring at your balance like it personally betrayed you. And you always ask the same question: where did it actually go? Because you didn't buy a yacht, you didn't walk into a dealership and leave with a Lamborghini, you didn't make one massive life-destroying purchase, you just existed for 30 days. That was apparently enough. Then you go online looking for help, which somehow makes the whole thing worse. Some financial guru who bought his first house when properties cost $12 and a firm handshake tells you that your real problem is iced coffee. Apparently, if you stop buying one drink before work, the housing market will apologize. Interest rates will calm down, and the 3-bedroom house will spawn directly in your bank account. It's ridiculous. And it makes people our age feel like complete failures for occasionally spending a few dollars on something that makes a miserable Tuesday feel less miserable. But here's the uncomfortable part. Even though a lot of advice is completely out of touch, we're not always innocent either. I had to admit that to myself. I graduated with an honors degree in aerospace engineering. I had the degree, the grades, the fancy piece of paper, and naturally, the completely delusional belief that adulthood would now start working properly. It didn't. I came home and started working serious shifts. And when I say serious, I mean the kind of job where you're dealing with systems, safety procedures, and situations where making a mistake isn't an awkward email on a Monday morning. Some shifts would completely drain me. I'd finish work mentally fried, get home, look at my bank account, and think, I worked that hard all week? Surely I deserve something. And that sentence became very expensive. Food delivery, random tech, subscriptions, little purchases that seemed harmless because none of them were individually big enough to scare me. That's the part that no one talks about. Most people don't destroy their finances with one insane decision. They leak money slowly, a bit here, a bit there, a small reward because work was stressful, another because work was boring, a third because it was a Wednesday and apparently surviving the middle of the week deserved financial recognition. I thought I had a saving problem. What I really had was a system problem. Because my entire financial strategy was basically checking my account, seeing money, and trying to remember which part of it I was allowed to spend. That is not a system. That's a memory test with rent attached. And when you're exhausted, stressed, or annoyed, you're going to fail the test every time. Think about the routine a lot of us fall into. You wake up tired, you go to work, you spend 8 or 10 hours doing the things that require your attention, patience, and the ability to pretend you're completely fine. Then you finally get home and your brain has nothing left. So you reach for the easiest possible form of relief. You order the overpriced meal, not because it's worth it. Half the time, it arrives cold and looks like it lost a fight inside the delivery bag. But you're not really buying the food, are you? You're buying the fact that you don't have to cook. And I mean, who wants to cook? You buy something random online because it gives you a tiny feeling of progress when your actual life feels stuck. You sign up for another subscription because apparently the ones you already have still haven't produced anything you want to watch. You go out and you spend money because sitting at home makes you feel like you're wasting your 20s. Then you wake up the next morning, check your account, and realize you've somehow paid money to feel worse. People call this doom spending. You look at the price of houses, you look at the cost of living, you think about the future, and all of it feels so far away that your brain goes, well, screw it. If I'm nowhere near any of that anyway, what difference does the purchase make? So you spend. Not because you consciously choose it over your future. You just stopped believing small decisions matter. And that's where the real damage happens. Because one takeaway won't ruin your life. But when spending becomes your automatic response to every uncomfortable situation, you're no longer buying things because you want them. You are using money as medication. Bad day? Spend. Bored? Spend. Lonely? Spend. Saw someone your age pretending to be rich? Perfect. Time to make a financially responsible decision while emotionally compromised. And yes, companies understand this. They've spent unbelievable amounts of money making it as easy as possible for you to buy something before the sensible part of your brain gets involved. One tap, free trial, buy now, pay later. Everything is designed to shorten the gap between feeling something and buying something, which means your financial setup has to protect you before the moment even happens. Because relying on willpower at the end of a long day is a terrible plan. You feel disciplined on a Sunday night, then Thursday arrives. Work was awful, you haven't cooked, someone sends you a menu, and suddenly the highly disciplined version of you is paying for something that you didn't even really want. You don't need stronger willpower. You need fewer chances to make bad decisions when you're tired. And the biggest change I made was separating my money, not just mentally, physically. Because most people in their 20s are still using one account, maybe two if they're feeling organized. Usually, it's the same account they opened when they were a teenager. Everything goes into it. Everything comes out of it. They swipe that one card everywhere, which even outside of saving, isn't even that safe. But financially, it's chaos. Because when everything sits in one place, all of it looks available. You log in, see one number, and assume you're fine. But most of the money already has a job. You just haven't separated it yet. So instead of trying to remember what you're allowed to spend, you create a simple structure. You don't need anything complicated, just a few clear buckets. You need a place where your income lands, a place where your fixed bills get paid from, a place for savings or emergencies, and a place for your everyday spending. That's it. The exact number of account doesn't even matter. What matters is that your money has separation and a purpose. Your income comes in, and before you get a chance to touch it, it gets split. Bills get covered, savings get moved somewhere slightly out of reach, and what's left becomes spending money. The money you actually use day to day should be separate. That's the account connected to your card. Food, going out, random purchases, whatever you enjoy. And this part is important. You're allowed to spend it. The goal is not to become someone who never enjoys life. That's not sustainable. The goal is to decide what you can afford to spend before you're tired, emotional, or standing at a checkout. If there's money in the spending account, you can use it without guilt. If it runs out, that's it. You don't start pulling from rent. You don't dip into savings because you had a stressful week. You just stop. The most important part of this is automation, because the problem isn't that you don't know what to do, it's that you're trying to do it manually while life is still happening. So when you get paid, the system moves the money for you. Bills get covered, savings get moved, spending money gets set, all before you can interfere. That matters because most bad financial decisions don't happen when you're calm. They happen when you're tired or stressed or bored or trying to impress someone. Automation removes that version of you completely from the equation. And once I did this, everything changed. Saving stopped feeling like a constant fight because the money was already gone, not wasted, just moved somewhere with purpose that I don't even see. I didn't have to guess what I could spend. The number in my spending account told me. Simple. And this, honestly, was weirdly freeing. Because most of the anxiety around money comes from not knowing if you're messing up. You buy something and immediately think, was that stupid? Can I still afford everything? Should I have saved that? With separation, you already know. Now, there is still a hard truth here. A system can organize your money. It can't fix bad maths. If your expenses are too high for your income, that's a different problem. And it might mean making bigger changes. But even then, separating your money makes the situation clear. And one more thing, building savings can feel boring. You're going to see people spending more than you, living louder than you, posting like everything is perfect. You have to get comfortable not knowing the full story, because looking rich and being financially stable are not the same thing. And no, this doesn't mean you stop enjoying your 20s. Go out, travel when you can afford it, buy things you actually care about. Just don't confuse enjoying your 20s with avoiding your life. There's a difference between spending intentionally and spending to escape how you feel. I'm still working on this. I still have days where I feel like I deserve to spend money for getting through work. But now the damage is limited because the important stuff is already handled, and whatever left is what I can enjoy without regret. Saving money in your 20s is hard. The cost of living is real. The pressure is real. But impossible? I don't think so. It only feels impossible when everything is sitting in one place and every decision depends on being perfect. So stop trying to be perfect. Build a system that assumes you won't be. Separate your money, automate it. Protect the important parts first, then live on the rest. And I want to know, what's the most ridiculous thing you've bought after a stressful day, knowing you didn't need it? Mine was usually food, not even good food, just expensive, forgettable food with a delivery fee. Put yours in the comments. And subscribe if you're trying to get your money and your life together in your 20s without being told the solution is waking up 4 in the morning. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.